the whole 2 days, I think. For my live stream, I missed day 8. I forgot to do a live stream because. Did I? Wait, wait, hold on. Wait, wait, what? Huh? Okay, so previously I said that I missed the live stream for day 8 because I was doing my school assignment, but turns out I did make a day 8 live stream. But on the thumbnail I put day 7 instead of day 8. Uh, well, that's something, so I'm going to change that thumbnail right away. Uh, well, that's very hilarious. So I have not actually missed a day, unless you would count day 12 as missed day, because uh, I forgot to make the live stream public. So for almost 10 minutes, I was talking to myself in a live stream that was unlisted. And yeah, I think when I made that live stream, was really tired. So I was like, I got nothing to talk about. I haven't watched Monday Night Raw because the internet was dying. So I was doing a live stream, a short live stream on that day, day 12. But I put it public now, so you can watch it. You can watch the replay. But if you want to get the more in-depth version of the live stream, you can go to day 13, because right there I get more in-depth about my opinion on Raw after WrestleMania. Well, I'm not going to repeat myself in this live stream, so I'm going to talk about what you guys are seeing in the thumbnail and also in the title. I'm going to talk about what happened on NXT after WrestleMania. So the show started with a promo with India Hartwell, and then Zoe Stark interrupted her, saying that she does not deserve it. She's she won by a fluke, and she asked for a title match tonight. And you said, "Well, I agree. I don't want to be called a fluke, so let's do it." So they're going to have a match for the title on this episode of NXT. And then we got a tag team match between Pretty Deadly against the D'Angelo family. And surprisingly, Pretty Deadly won the match via cheating, of course. So from this point on forward, I think Pretty Deadly is going to climb up the ladder and possibly challenging Gallus for the tag team titles one more time. And then um, I think they're going to book Tony D'Angelo and Chinese Tex Lorenzo as a babyface. They have been booked as a heel since day one, so it'd be interesting to see them as the good guy in this storyline. And I think it could definitely work. It could definitely work. It worked with the Legado del Fantasma, and I think it would work really well with Tony D'Angelo, especially with this storyline between the two of them, where Tony wants to keep his level as the same as Stax Lorenzo in like here in like a family, because he's the don of the family, but he does not want to be called like his. I mean, he still want to be called the don, but he does not want to be on a different level than Stacks. He wants them to be equal. He wants them to be a tag team partner instead of like a boss and a lackey um, situation. And I think that would be a pretty interesting storyline. But before I get into more of this, there's news that I covered yesterday, which was the release of Rifal and Jagarit. In case you didn't know, they were formerly known as Grizzled Young Veterans, and they were part of the Schism. Those two guys, Rifal and Jagarit, and they asked for their release, and some reports saying that their release were granted, and it was really a shame because I absolutely enjoy their character work in the Schism, but we're still not sure if they actually got released or not, because WWE has not put out a statement that they have released these two superstars. because most of the time when they release their superstar, they would make like a Twitter post saying that WWE has released this person, and then uh, they would say they would say um, offer the best for their future endeavors kind of thing. Like they always do that for people who got released from their contract, but for people whose contract expired, they never done that. For example, when Adam Cole got released, for Kyle O'Reilly got released, and also for Brian Danielson got released, they didn't put out a statement because their contract expired and not them asking for their release. So yeah, there is a probability that Rick Fowler and Jagger Ray got released. If that happens, no one really knows what's going to happen with this schism, especially with Ava Ray, who just had her um, first in-ring debut on Saturday in NXT Stand and Deliver, and from what I saw in that match, she was still pretty green. Like her move still looks stiff. I think they need to showcase her more on NXT to make people familiar with her movesets and make her familiar with the ring and with multiple uh, wrestler, so she could learn more and hone her skill to become a better wrestler. Okay, let's get back to the show. So Dijak had a match with Odyssey Jones. He beat Odyssey Jones via a moonsault. So yeah, and then Dragon Lee had a match with uh, Nathan Fraser, and surprisingly, Noam Dar made his debut, or should I say, return to NXT. I can't remember if he was in the main NXT or not, but he's now back in NXT, and he brought with him the NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship, which I was kind of surprised they bring him back this early. I thought they're going to keep him away until the launch of NXT Europe, so they could reintroduce Noam Dar with the NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship, but they changed the name to NXT Europe Heritage Cup instead of NXT UK because NXT UK is not a thing anymore. And I was surprised that he came back. He did not get stripped from the title. He was still holding it, and he still calls it the NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship. It is a championship, but it's a freaking big trophy instead of like a championship belt that you've seen everywhere in WWE. This is a really unique championship in my opinion. It looked gorgeous. This looked a lot more gorgeous than Andrade the Giant Memorial trophy. This looks amazing, and I think this is what Andrade the Giant's Memorial Battle Royale trophy should look like instead of you know that thing that Bobby Lashley was holding. So yeah, Dragon Lee and Nathan Fraser had a match. Noam Dar was watching from the ringside. They had a great match, great showing. Dragon Lee finished the match with what was that? What did he finish the match with? I can't remember. Let's see. Um, Not that. That was the Liger bomb. What did he finish the match with? Let's see. Is it dropkick? Oh, okay. So his finisher is a running knee strike. I don't know. For some reason, I thought his finisher is similar with his brother, Rouge. Rouge's um, finishing move is like a running drop kick into the corner, not standing in the corner, but like sit it down in the corner, so it looks a lot more brutal. And I like Rouge's finishing move. And I thought Dragon Lee's finishing move was the same, but turns out his finishing move is a running knee. It's not even like a shining wizard. It's like a running knee, and I think it looks pretty good in my opinion. I think it looks pretty good. So Fraser lost, and then India Hartwell and Zoe Stark have their match. And as much as I love Indy, I think she deserves it, but to ha- they have they need to do their homework in order to build India Hartwell really well because right now she does not feel like she's a believable champion. She looks like a really weak champion, especially after winning the match against Zoe Stark via roll up pin. I don't think that makes her a credible champion. So I think they should beat her with stronger opponents and actually let her finish the matches with some good finishers because currently her finishers are either the clothesline, the spinebuster, or the springboard elbow drop, which she has not done in a long time. So I think she need to find a new finisher like ASAP if she wants to be a credible champion because none of her finisher really have a really impactful feeling to it. Like Spinebuster, nah, you are not a powerhouse like let's say powerhouse Hobbs who can use Spinebuster as his finishing move. Um, if you are using the clothesline, it does not really give a big impact. Not a lot of people can use the clothesline for their finishing move. If you are using it, you need to have like a big body and a big muscle. Like let's say for female, you could say Jamie Hayter on AEW. She has really good muscle here. So she is she has a really good finisher that makes her a credible champion. So I think India Hartwell needs to find a new finisher really fast if she wants to have a long title reign, which is something that I don't think will happen, but I hope will happen. Because after the match, Tiffany Stratton came out and she said that she wants next, but India Hartwell got attacked by Cora Jade, and Cora Jade was uh, targeting the NXT Women's title. But then again, she had a rivalry with Valkyria before she got injured, so I think they're going to visit that rivalry first before she can go for the title again. So that match ended, and what happened? Tenny Paxley against Ivy Nile. Yeah, that's boring. We don't care. And then Axiom versus Wesley for the North American title. That was interesting. Really interesting. The match was incredible. As always, they delivered. And then after the match, Scripps was going to attack Axiom, but Axiom hits him with a super kick. And then he says that he will expose Scripps. So I think at some point, Scripps will get unmasked because they realize this gimmick is not working. If Scripps is another person, like a beauty superstar, it could work. Or if he's actually wearing a mask like Axiom instead of a mask that we can clearly see he is Reginald. Because a lot of people back then, when Axiom first debuted, they did not realize he was a kid. I personally, when I heard his voice, I immediately knew he was a kid, but if you see from the mask, it does not resemble a kid at all. So for someone who has not who's not familiar with a kid, they would not recognize that Axiom is actually a kid. But for people who are not familiar with Reggie and seeing scripts, they legit knew that was scripts. Literally, they knew. When Axiom debuted, you don't hear the crowd chanting "A Kid." When Scripps debuted, they chanted Reggie. That's how bad the costume for Scripps was. So I think they need to have this storyline between Scripps and uh, Axiom, and then Axiom's winning, and then unmask scripts. Turns out it was Reggie, and then put this gimmick to sleep. They need to bury this gimmick forever because it has not been working for the past couple of months. So I think I missed something. Oh yeah. So next week, um, Ilya Dragunov is going to have a match against Von Wagner, and Robert Stone was pissed because he said to Von, if he's not winning next week, then they are done. Robert Stone is not going to manage Von Wagner anymore, and I think it's going to be really interesting because I don't see Von Wagner beating Ilya Dragunov. And if Robert Stone is leaving Von Wagner, where does this left them? What would Von Wagner do after this, and where would Robert Stone go? Because Robert Stone has been in NXT for quite a long time. He was um, he was with the Robert Stone brand with Aaliyah and another person, and then Aaliyah left. She made her main roster debut, and then Frankie Monet comes into the scene, Taya Valkyrie, and then she joined the Robert Stone brand and make it her own. And then she got released, and the other girl got released, and Robert Stone is the only one who's left. And yeah, Robert Stone kind of caught in like a lot of unfortunate situation where her his team always got either drafted to other brand or got released. So for Von Wagner has not been getting positive feedback from the audience. The only positive feedback he ever gotten because he became a meme come Tuesday. That's it. When he was paired with Kyle O'Reilly, people started to like him. But he turned heel and everybody hates him. Not for the good reason. They hate him because he doesn't really have a character that make people care. Like, let's say Baron Corbin. People hate Baron Corbin because they have a reason to hate him. Von Wagner, people hate him because they don't want to see him. To me, as much as I hate Baron Corbin, I would still buy his merchandise. As much as I hate The Miz, I would buy his merchandise. But as much as I hate Von Wagner, I won't buy his merchandise. Why would I do that? That's how most people think. They hate Von Wagner in a way that they don't want to buy anything related to that guy. That's the problem. They need to reinvent Von Wagner in any way whatsoever. And Von Wagner needs to reinvent himself. If not, he could get released, in my opinion. He doesn't have any character. The only good thing about him is that he's big. There are other people who are big like him, but they have character and they have uniqueness. I'm talking about people like Dijak who can do high flying stuff and have a great finishing move. I'm talking about Dabakato who can actually wrestle. I'm even talking about people like Braun Strowman who are quick and strong and have great personality. I'm even talking about people like Omos. Despite his big body and lack of moveset, he can actually sell himself as a giant. Vaughn, there's no in between. He does not know if he wants to sell himself as a heavyweight or as a giant. And he doesn't have personality. He does not have any character. I don't know where Von Wagner is going to go this next Tuesday if he does not win the match against Ilya Dragunov. And let's get to the main event where Carmelo having a promo and then he asked Braun Breaker to come out because He wants to say thank you. He wants to show his respect, and he wants the NXT universe to give him the same treatment like what he did to him. And they hug it out, they shake it out, and then something unexpected happened. Groundbreaker attacked Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. I think the people in the back realized that they are not going to cheer for Groundbreaker anymore. So why not just turn him heel? They definitely love Carmelo Hayes, so why not turn him face? That's what I'm getting actually from this scenario. They see Melo getting cheered week after week, months after months, so they're making him the baby face, and then they're making Braun Breaker the heel, and then this is going to continue for at least one more pay per view, and then it will solidify Carmelo Hayes as the NXT champion, and then Braun Breaker can go do his own thing on the main roster. At least that's what I think. I thought that after this, Braun Breaker would immediately go to main roster and challenge Austin Theory for the United States title, but that didn't happen. Uh, so turns out they um, they are going to build this rivalry even more, because previously the rivalry was made the best man win, but right now I think the story is that Braun Breaker is, I don't know, jealous, or he's mad at himself that he couldn't beat Carmelo Hayes, or because he got cheated and Carmelo acted like he was doing he won the match clean. I think that would be the reason. Well, we'll tune in next week to see why Braun Breaker became heel, and I think it would be an interesting reason from him. So I think NXT Battleground was on June. NXT Battleground. I think it's on June, right? Oh, it's on actually on May. So it's next month. Really? And NXT Battleground is actually, yeah, NXT Battleground is going to happen on May 28th, and it's not on the Performance Center anymore. They're actually going on the road, because NXT Battleground will be held in Lowell, Massachusetts. Lowell, Massachusetts on May 28th. So this would be interesting. Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker 2 for the NXT title. Heel Braun versus Face Melo. This would be really, really interesting. And just an information to slip in this live stream. Jay White signed with AEW. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, even if he goes to WWE, I don't think he would fit there, because right now WWE does not need Jay White, in my opinion. But I also don't agree with some people who are saying that they don't understand what makes Jay White good, right? They they said that it felt like just um, another superstar who got big outside, trying to make his way into WWE as a big superstar. Well, let me tell you something. I'm pretty sure that what happened with AJ Styles as well back in the day. He got big outside of WWE, but you guys gave the chance to him when he made his WWE debut back in 2016. And I think if JY ever came to WWE, he could do the same thing with what happened with AJ Styles. Immediately went to the main roster having banger after banger matches, and then a year into his career, become the WWE champion. I can't remember. I think it was like a year in, AJ Styles became the WWE champion. So if Jay White ever comes to WWE, I think the same he would get the same treatment as AJ Styles back then. So yeah, it's a shame that Jay White is in AW, but I mean, even if he's in that AW, I don't really see if he fits in any storyline other than a possibility that the Bullet Club would clash in $40 billion. That's literally it, nothing else. So yeah, I think I'm going to end this live stream here. I've been live streaming for 26 minutes, and I want to go to sleep. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Defaja, and I'm signing out.